Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another night of our 21 days. We're on day 18, which means we're getting very close to the finale here. In DC right now, we're hosting a rebirth workshop, so it's been a long day, but I am actually very happy to be with especially my sisters tonight. I don't know, just something very comforting about being amongst, those of us who've been, many of you are coming every night. It's like such a special group of people, a special place, and feels like such a sacred place to come to every night. So I can take a deep breath with all of you and thank you. Today's speech that we're reading from Mother is actually going to be a video. Whenever we can do a video, I think it's special just to be able to see Mother talking and feel her spirit, very different from just reading her words. And this one in particular is from July 24th, earlier this year, and it's at the anniversary, the 60th anniversary of the 124 couples blessing anniversary. And yeah, you'll notice Mother's spirit, Mother's energy is very, very strong. And keep in mind who she's talking to here. These are some of your seniors, right? Not just my seniors, but some of your seniors. And her message doesn't change. So let's go ahead and share the screen here.
Launch on the occasion of the 60th anniversary of their marriage blessing. True Mother gave a precious message to the senior members of the Unification families who have protected and cultivated their blessed families for the past 60 years. She encouraged them to fulfill their responsibilities as proud blessed families until their last moments.
124가정 축복 받은 지가 60주년이 된다. 먼 길을 걸어왔네. 여러분의 나이들이 80에서 90이 되나? 여러분은 축복받은 사람이다. 어떻게 1001국까지 먼 길을 걸어왔니? 1001국. 창조주 하늘 부모님이 꿈을 이룰 수 있는 1001국. 참 부모의 사명은 지상에서 창조주 하늘 부모님을 모시고 사는 삶을 실천해야 되는 거야. 지상에서 책임할 수 있는 기회는 언제나 있는 게 아니고 지금이야, 지금. 1001국 안착이라는 그러한 또 하늘 부모님을 모실 수 있는 천원궁 1001성전을 봉헌한 자리에 있었던 여러분들은 참 자랑스러운 124가정이다. 그렇지? 그러면은 죽기 전에 책임해야 돼. 국가복귀. 하늘 부모님이 마음대로 역사하실 수 있는 참 부모로 말미암아 축복받은 여러분이기 때문에 책임을 해야 돼. 하늘 부모님을 모시는 나라가 없어. 이 민족이 독생녀를 탄생시키기 위한 선민으로서 하늘이 길러 나왔는데 하늘 앞에 책임해야 되잖아. 자기의 존재 가치를 모르는 백성들이 돼서 되겠나? 여러분이 지상에 있는 동안, 참 어머니가 지상에 있는 동안이 가장 귀중한 시간이야. 응? 그걸 놓치지 말라고. 한 사람이라도 하늘 부모님 앞에 자랑스러운 아들, 딸로서 가야 되잖아. 하늘 부모님, 참 부모님의 환경권을 만들어 드려야 되는 것이 축복 가정들의 책임이다. 그렇게 할 거죠? 네, 고마워. 그리 건강하게 지금까지 살아줘서. 이제 책임하자. 한 발짝 걸을 수 있을 때까지. 알겠어?
알겠어? 알겠어. 알겠어.
Thank you. So I chuckle watching this because I'm thinking about who Mother's talking to, right? These senior members, they are her elders for the most part, right? And it's their 60th anniversary, and instead of just congratulating them, what does she say? She says, you still have a job to do. Don't just sit back. And as long as we can take one step, then we have to keep going. And actually, it reminded me of some of what Mimi was sharing last night about, no matter our age and difficulty, that we have this kind of heart, right? And yes, it does make me chuckle, and she chuckles in it, right? You can tell she's got this, like, it's a motherly heart, even for her senior elder members. But what it also signals to me is that Mother is really serious at this time. If she's including the same kind of message to this group of elders, that we have to achieve national restoration. It's the same kind of points we've been reading over and over in many of these messages over the last few days, where she's talking about, she says there's no foundation for North and South Korean unity right now. And it's a pretty serious thing to think about. This is one of Mother's #1 focuses right now. And even just last week or so, Dr. Chang-Shik Yang was in DC. And so I had a chance, he's the UPF International Chairman, and had a chance to sit and listen to him for many, many hours. And everything is surrounding the reunification of the Korean Peninsula. And he has some, brilliant ideas and exciting things to work on. But Mother's also giving us a short timeline that by 2025, this is kind of the goal that she's giving us. When we open the Chunwongung finally completely in 2025, then it's the entrance ceremony where everybody can finally go into the building. That this is kind of the timeline that she's given us to work within, to bring real result, not just nice reports, but real result. She's very serious that the foundation is not there. She's calling us out, saying, the foundation isn't there. I only have so much longer on earth. Do you understand? And in this message, she says, you understand how precious it is, this time where I'm alive, when the only begotten daughter is alive right now. What can we do? We have to respond to her. We have to do the extra effort. And the big part of it starts with the internal understanding of who Mother is and how important this time is. And if I can be honest, I think in Korea right now, it's not easy for people to really understand this point, to really understand who Mother is as the only begotten daughter and her central role at this time. Many of them do, but I think from what I'm hearing from others and different leaders, it's not easy for them to understand. And it makes me think about this point we read earlier, where Mother came to America to reveal the only begotten daughter title first, because she knew that we would be the people who could understand, who were most ready and prepared, especially to receive a woman leader, a daughter of God at this time. So I really think this kind of condition, this kind of prayer, attending the rebirth workshops and so forth, really understanding who Mother is one of the most important things we can do as the elder child nation, not just the elder son nation, but we can have broader terms as Women's Federation, right? But yeah, this is one of our responsibilities. The more that we can come to understand who the only begotten daughter is, then the more Korea and Japan and other nations can come to understand who our true mother is and be in alignment with heaven's providence at this time. Everything Mother's talking about in terms of reuniting Korea centers on people knowing who she is and knowing who Heavenly Parent is. And that can't just be a logical understanding, right? It has to be a heartistic, personal testimony. We have to feel it and believe it. Otherwise, when you start to talk to people about it, it doesn't impact them, right? It doesn't land. It doesn't mean anything if you're just teaching academically. But can we ask ourselves, am I having a transformation of heart by now understanding Heavenly Mother and understanding True Mother and her role at this time? So I just love that Mother doesn't change her message no matter who she's talking to and no matter what they've been through. It's a reminder that even when I'm tired and feeling like I have a lot of other things going on, I have to remember this bigger picture, how precious this time is that I'm living in. And do I really understand who Mother is? Then I can find my way. Then I can know what my next step is, and I can find the energy that I'm needing at that time. So to continue sharing our reflection tonight, we're going to welcome Natasha Phillips, who luckily is still with us today and hasn't had a baby yet. So Natasha, we're happy to have your wisdom while you still have a brain that's alive and awake. Let's welcome Natasha to share her reflections.
All right. Thank you, Kaylee, and thank you for your beautiful sharing. Yeah, so I was actually happy to see this reading that was shared for tonight. It felt somehow especially relevant to me, not because I'm between 80 and 90 years old, obviously, but because I just celebrated my 5th blessing anniversary with my husband yesterday. So, and this was an occasion of a blessing anniversary as well, right? So I felt I could relate. And the first thing that came to my mind, and when I was listening to True Mother, talk to these couples, is that, no matter how long you've been blessed, whether it's just 5 years or 60 years, which I can't even imagine that's, being blessed for that long already. Yeah, but our responsibility as blessed couples, as blessed families is the same, right? Doesn't matter what our age is or how long we've been here on this earth. We all have the same responsibility to fulfill, and that is, which was said right in this speech. That was the line that stood out for me: to create an environment for Heavenly Parent and true parents, right? And True Mother also said that there is currently no country that is serving Heavenly Parent, and so I think that those two things are connected for me. That is all of our responsibility, young and old, to keep working until the end, to have countries that is serving Heavenly Parent and true parents, that recognizes, as Kaylee was saying, who they are, right? That can deeply understand and relate to them. And yeah, this, how we prepare the environment, how we do that, happens on so many levels, including in our work, right? It was Women's Federation. And in our own way, we can prepare women at different levels, right? Through all the various programs that we're doing, but especially now with our focus on doing more outreach activities and witnessing type activities, that we can really connect more directly, to Heavenly Parent and to True Mother, and to bring people to a deeper understanding. So, yeah, I think that, I'm lucky to still have more time. I feel, hopefully on this earth. Then, we never know what happens in life, but yeah, hoping to have so many more years that I can contribute to this work. But I know that True Mother does not have much time left, right? And you can hear always in her voice how, and with her words, how much she's longing to see this substantial establishment, before she moves to spirit world, right? And she herself, with her advanced age of 80 now, is not giving up or retiring at any point, right? And True Father didn't either, right? I always think about how he never retired or decided, okay, I'm 92, I can rest now. But he kept going right until the end. And I feel like True Mother is going to do the exact same thing, So who are we to do any different? Right? As their filial sons and daughters, we following in their footsteps. This is our mission for always. And yeah, so that's something I've been reflecting on, is like how I can contribute, especially now while True Mother is still here on earth, what I can still do to help prepare the environment to welcome true parents and welcome heavenly parents to this country. Yeah, so those just in a few minutes, my brief sharing and reflection. And yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Natasha. Yeah. And Natasha, we're all going to be praying for you when the time comes also. But Natasha is the kind of person, as she was just saying, that is still looking for ways to contribute, even with a baby coming, in the next few weeks. And I know,
Still a
she's,
week and a half left till the due date, so I got time.
yeah, well, maybe. All the moms here are laughing because they know that means any moment. Yeah, so thank you for setting that example, Natasha, even with young children, to still be contributing and investing yourself, even though it's not easy, right, to balance all of that. Okay, so we are going to hear an exciting testimony from some of our sisters on the West Coast who have reactivated their local Women's Federation chapter. And before I introduce them, I just wanted to say that I got such a beautiful text from Caroline last night, just saying how grateful she's been for this prayer condition and really feeling the spirit of Heavenly Mother. And I was sharing about that with my team today, that what we're doing, it's just a Zoom call, right? But I really feel, I was just at the rebirth workshop, right? I feel like being together and making the space, especially with women, is so significant. And I needed that reminder today. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And without further ado, let's welcome up Caroline Betancourt and her team. I'm not exactly sure who's sharing, but Caroline, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. I am unmuted, and I want to set my timer to see if I can stay within the 5 minutes. Big task. So yes, thank you, Kelly, for making that comment, because even now, hearing Natasha's testimony, I mean, if I had the presence of mind, I joined when I was 38. I'm 79 now. And if I had the presence of mind to be able to articulate what you just articulated, I mean, it's just mind blowing to me. So it really shows, excuse me, I'm a crier, I'll tell you. It really shows that the second gen, and that we are evolving, we are moving forward. And more and more there is, the shadows are being taken away. And I feel that this is one of the reasons why I was so taken by this topic that we based our event on. And I don't know, Kaylee, if I can share the screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, let me see if I can do it now. Oh, I'm on the wrong. I'm on the wrong page. I mean, okay, wait a second. I'm gonna mess up. Here, let me do this, and let me go back up to the top if I can. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to go on the open the slides full. Where can I find that? Here we are. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now if I can get all of this out of here. All right. Okay, so you can all see that.
Yes.
So okay, so I'm not going to go into the slides right away, because I just wanted to first give kind of an introduction about how this all came about. I went to see the movie The Foundation of Freedom. I don't know how many of you have seen it. I know some of you are afraid to see it because you feel that it's going to be just too terrible to watch. But actually, it's not terrible in the sense that you see things that you don't want to see, but you catch the fervor and the determination of the main actor in this movie to save these children who have no way to save themselves. So I really feel so much mother's heart right now when she says, can people who do not know their value exist? She just said that. These children have no chance. They have been taken from their homes. They're being held captive everywhere in the world. They're used 6 or 7 or 8 times a day. They might be only like 5 or 6 years old, both girls and boys. And they have no hope except for somebody like the FBI or, the federal agents who go out and try to capture them. And there are a lot of them, and they're very, very fervent about what they do. And then once they do get out, people like us to help them. That's really the whole point of this event. So I was just really driven, by that when I saw the movie, and then I did a little research, and I found out that San Diego is one of the 13 worst spots in the United States, according to the FBI. And in a study that was done in 2016, it was 2 universities who worked together, that there's 8,000 people are victims of human trafficking each year in San Diego, with an average age of 16 years old. And that was 2016. So now I think it's more like 1,500 a year that are trafficked. And they're not trafficked by somebody grabbing them off the street. What we found through the woman who spoke is that they are boyfriended. Somebody pretends to be their boyfriend. Their family member. They could be their father, their brother, their girlfriend, that they abuse them and use them, take pictures, use it to sell pornography, all these kinds of things. It's so dark. It's so evil. It's so unthinkable that people could be like this. But this is the majority of the trafficking that happens here in the San Diego area. So with this kind of fervor, I just asked Kaylee, could we please take an honorary position to this event on behalf of WFWP? And I was able to stand up with Keiko Lowe and Solange Weiss. They're here on the call, but I don't know if you can see them, but they stepped up, and the 3 of us worked together along with many of the members, including the brothers, to put this event together. So one of the reasons why it could come together so quickly is because of this organization who presented at our event called GRACE, Girls Rising Above Child Exploitation. And the woman who founded it, his name is Leah Evers. She is now married, and she is very, very pregnant. And she came to give the the presentation, but she was trafficked by her boyfriend years and years ago. And I think she even had a child by that in that situation. So she knows the feeling of mistrust. She said that's the biggest challenge that they have, is how to break the trust, how to break through the lack of trust that they have, because their families or their boyfriends, people that they thought were going to be good for them, were really turning against them and using them. So this lack of self-esteem is really a major part that her pastor, and that's how I knew about her, because I've been witnessing in this church, been to the church that she belongs to for about 1.5 years. And that pastor is a wonderful pastor who really believes in God's mercy and God's grace. And he was the one who was able to help her found this organization and find forgiveness for herself. So she's turned that into a wonderful organization. And
Caroline, do you want to show us any of your slides?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Just, just because that's not so important. You know, it's really this background on it that is the most important, as far as I'm concerned. Most important thing. So anyway, so what Grace does is once they find the girls that they can help, then they do things like help them find homes to stay in, to go to college, to get a job, help them with job interviews, help them how to learn how to dress, how to write a resume, simple things like that that these girls don't know. And so personally, one of the people that I know who just recently was diagnosed with cancer and had to go into assisted living, she gave away all of her clothes and her extra food to these girls, to Grace. So that is kind of the background of what happened with this event. So the event went very smoothly and very quickly. And so we were, now if I can get this to move up. Well, there we go. Okay. So can you see it okay, or do I have this black box in the way?
Nope, we can see it.
Okay, great. All right. So this is just the hall itself. This is in Marie Callender's restaurant, and it's called the Fireside Room, and that's John, who is our AV person with the church, who very willingly came and volunteered his time to set everything up. And we had a full house. This is two people who Alan and Rosa Davis invited them to. Rosa's done a lot with WFWP in the past. And the thing that Rosa told me was before they could invite people to come, 7 people to come, maybe 1 would come. This time they invited 7 people and all 7 people came and they all stayed till the very end. So I thought that was very significant. And this woman here in the blue is Charlene Waddell. She gave the prayer, and she was just somebody who popped up. We've known each other for years, but she called me out of the blue just right when we were starting to plan this. She has a network of 65 churches. She's been a pastor herself for years. And so I asked her, would she pray? So she was the one who gave the prayer for the event. This is a family, whole families came, and second generation came. This is what was so important to me, is that it was something they could bring their second generation to, because this can affect them. The second generation has to know about this so they can protect themselves. So this is one family that came to Dickerson. Some of you might know them. And this is another family. This is Bob Millar brought his 2 daughters, both who just recently had children, girls, or children themselves. So they also came because they understood the importance of understanding what is human trafficking and how to prevent it, how to help people who might be in that situation. So we have, the house was full. We had 56 people. And out of those 56 people, which was a packed room, 33 were guests. So that was like, again, I really give it to the topic. The topic is something that people want to know about. They know it's a problem, and they don't know how to find out information about it. The other part that was so amazing to me was how quickly VIP quote types of people would come. So the lady in the blue is Kelsey Taylor. She's the she's the 3rd district support to the vice chair of Tara Lawson of the Board of Supervisors of San Diego. And their organization has commissions, and one of the commissions is on youth, girls and women. So I want to become part of that, to begin to explore and make those people aware of what is happening, and also to work with WWQ. I have a vision of doing bridge crossings in the beautiful building that they have for the Board of Supervisors. And then the one that's in black is Laura Decker, the black jacket. And I had invited her the day before because I forgot. She came. She RSVP'd the same day. She said, well, you invited me late, so I'm RSVPing late, but I'm coming. So she is with the Nazarene University of Point Loma College. And they have an organization called CAT, Churches Against Trafficking. And I'm going to meet with her, and we're going to work on developing that organization which is a great way to reach out to churches.
one more minute.
Okay, and so then this here is Erlander, Patrick Erlander, who is a member. He's in black, and he started an organization. He's worked for years with inhuman trafficking with the police department of the Long Beach, and he started an organization called FatherCon because he understands the importance of fathers in organizations. And behind him, over here, is Rohita Khan. She has just been transferred to San Diego, and she is with the Homeland Security. She actually is one of the people that goes out to get the people, but she needs to have places so she can bring these people to help them. They cannot provide the services. The government cannot. They can only use 501c3s. So she was there. There are those who are going to be giving our next presentation next month. And this is, we showed the Women's Federation film while people were still eating. And then Keiko Lowe got up and gave a very beautiful introduction of WFWT and introduced our person who prayed. And then Leah came up and spoke. And this is just another picture of people who were in the booths along the side of the room, as well as in the middle of the room. And this is Leah as she sat down finally because her ankles were swollen, but she gave the presentation and answered questions. And then this is the Kelsey, she talked a little bit, and also Patrick. And then last but not least was Paulette Pfeiffer. She's a realtor. She was a friend from the gym of one of our members here, Zinni. And Zinni invited her to come. She came and she brought the gentleman that's next to her, Mr. Wirch. And it turns out that he is the director of the Alexander and Eva Nemeth Foundation. And he and Patrick started talking. And Patrick told him what he's doing. I introduced him, and Patrick was telling him what he's doing with FatherCon. And he said, how interesting. His very first 501c3 had to do with the importance of fathers and family. So the two of them are meeting. They are a funding organization. We got a letter from Paulette saying that she wants to talk to us more about how can she help financially with our work. So this is the external part, and that was really the conclusion of the event. But the external part and the internal part is the part that we have to learn more. I have to learn more. We all have to learn more how to connect mother's heart with this situation. So thank you very much. That is the end of my presentation.
Wow. Congratulations. And thank you, Caroline. Thank you to the San Diego chapter. It's an incredible report and very exciting, but also a very serious topic that I know because of this video that's been launched, many people are very interested in wanting to know what we can do. But yeah, your point I think is important to consider. What can we really do, right? How can we really support it? But I'm so grateful and inspired. I mean, look, such a big, successful event with your honorary positions. We're all just honorary women trying to help God. So that's positions don't matter. And I just want to say thank you because Caroline was one of, the aunties in my community who I remember doing Women's Fed growing up. And it's really humbling for me to be able to continue working with women like her and women like many of you, even though I'm like your daughters, that, because of our response to Heavenly Parent and true parents, then we become all daughters together to serve. So yeah, I'm really grateful for it. And thank you so much to the sisters, Solange and to Keiko, for jumping in and getting things going again. Oh, okay. I liked Mimi asked us to take a deep breath before transitioning into prayer yesterday, because it's hard to transition from an activity to more sincere prayer. So maybe let's all take a deep breath together. And we want to use this time to pray and connect with our true mother and our Heavenly Mother, and also activate, what is your calling at this time? Where are you being pushed to answer at this time for God's heart? And Natasha, if I can call on you to offer a representative prayer, and then we'll do our unison prayer.
Okay. Please join me in prayer, everybody. Our most beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind, we come before you here this evening at this call as wives, as sisters, as mothers, as daughters, and also as brothers and husbands and fathers, we have this heart of longing for you, Heavenly Parent, wanting to connect to you and to our beloved true parents. We pray that we can, through these evenings together, feel more deeply your love in your heart, that we can connect to True Mother's words and her wisdom and guidance to us, that we can truly understand who she is and really resonate with her message, that each one of us has a responsibility as blessed families, that our responsibility will be the same no matter how old we are or how long we've been blessed or in this movement, that we all need to work together towards fulfilling the singular purpose of preparing a place for you to be received, Heavenly Parent, for you to be welcomed on this earth, in this country and in every country around the world. I pray that we can contribute in our unique ways and the positions that we have and the communities that we're in, that we can contribute through our outreach and through being activated in numerous projects, such as this project that we heard about this evening, and combating child trafficking, and all of the different ways that we can help to make this world more closely aligned with your will, Heavenly Parent, that we can restore this world to you, that we can, through the love of true parents, spread this message to everyone, and that we can, in True Mother's lifetime, restore this nation to you, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much for everybody gathered here this evening, and pray for all of our families and loved ones, that we can work together as a united team, as Women's Federation, and we pray all of these things in all our names, and my name, Dawn Tasha Phillips of the Phillips Blessed Center family, Aju.
Too.
Thank you. We'll do our 4-minute unison prayer, so feel free to unmute yourself and pray together.
Most beloved Heavenly Parent, our mother and our
Evening,
father.
dearest Heavenly Parent. We pray that you can receive our condition to be here tonight and to receive your words and hear what's going on throughout this nation. Also with international developments in Korea and other nations. We know how important it is that you can unite and function as a center. No, it seems like a far away goal, a far away Heavenly, for those parent, for those who are working so hard, we can remember establish working their normal years. Many people could not even imagine doing because the vision precedes us. But we know that this is something that will keep us active for years to come. We pray that we don't fail in our responsibilities, to make heavenly strides forward together from all walks of life, and to show our support they really need. They need recognition. They need a national international awareness. Stop and climate of corruption and so many things, abusing children, abusing women,
It's a new time. I pray that we
part
can
of our
really
we want to incorporate your heart into
they
our
can come back and give a second chance. They can give a second chance mom.
to
Together
the
with our
I
brothers
pray
to
that
help
family.
them
They can
including
give us a
that we
good
have.
chance to this
So we
group.
make our events
I really
friendly for all
they pray that they
for
can
individuals
realize they
who are
look
interested in wanting to
realize
help.
before
haven't found
And
any
we pray
other
that we can
community
be
where they feel
successful in the efforts we're making.
the community where they feel
There's
to
a
be
great
themselves, where they
need
can
for these
just
meetings.
express themselves,
The Women's
express
Federation
what
is
you and life, Heavenly
to
Parent.
do it
I
because we
pray
have
that
our
they can
strong
give
feet.
you a second
And we
chance,
also
give our
want
true
to
mother a second chance,
educate people
and really
that
begin to hear
lives become
different. We're in a new time. We're in a new era.
that
We're in a new chapter.
true parents
It's
are
different.
have been
We
showing
have a whole new
everyone.
focus, which is
So
your
through
Holy
the
Spirit and your
understanding of
truth.
your nature,
Heavenly Parent,
that
and we
gives
really
them
embrace you.
courage to go forward in ways they
Welcome
never
each
had
person
before.
as they are. Here they are.
We do pray for
absolute
the
love.
Welcome them
success of
as
all
they
the
are.
They can really know
as well as the
How they
social
are.
leaders. It's not an
With them,
easy thing
encourage them. With that,
absolute love.
support them.
transform
With
us
that,
and
encourage them, Heavenly
make
Parent.
this one happen
I
very
pray
soon.
that really
I want to continue the
the
work that
activation within
our
my heart can be stirred, that I can
brothers and
really
sisters
sense really where is my part.
like to
Where is it
They
that I'm
are
supposed to work?
appreciation
What am I to start something? To really
and
initiate something?
encourage
Am
the love
I to
and
support the
and
program?
our
Am I
role is
to
to be true
really
parents
support
in a
it
new
already
way.
started? Where is
our
my
minds
part
together,
to work?
minds together, hold
Where's
our
my
bodies
place for me to be
together.
encouraged? Where's my place to be there for your sake and for
The
true
world
mother?
restored back
To be able to be present, Heavenly Parent. So where is that? I pray to sense that. I really pray to receive that instruction from you, Heavenly Parent. Really pray to be able to hear that instruction.
days left to
Just as I
celebrate
did concerning
together through this
receiving accepting the memo.
Aju. Thank you again, everybody, for such sincere prayers. We only have a few more days left, so we can finish strong. Tomorrow, along with the reflection from Laura, we're going to hear testimony from Glenda about some of the things that they've been working on in Arizona. So you can look forward to hearing about that. Can't wait to see all of you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. God bless you.
Bye, everyone. Good night.